Hello, I'm John. I'm on board Corrick. This is Elizabeth. She's busy reading. I'd rather hope that this episode would have been called A Tale of Two Rallies, as we'd hoped to go to the Contessa Association rally in the Solent this weekend and follow it up with a rally in Holland. But we've had to leave early because of what looked like the weather. So we're now on our way to
Dover.
the Netherlands.
Oh, the Netherlands, but don't buy Dover.
Hope you enjoy this video. Thanks very much for watching.
The route to Dover from Portsmouth up here involves a couple of tidal gates, one of which is the Loo Channel down here, and that necessitated a very early, a sunrise departure from Portsmouth, and it was all looking particularly fabulous as we went past Southsea Castle, down to the bottom, reasonably close inshore, through the Loo Channel, and then up past the Rampion wind farm, and as you can see, really quite quiet.
It's really rather nice here. We've got the kite up. We are just in between Brighton and Beachy Head. Quite slow progress because we're stemming the tide. The idea is to arrive at Beachy Head just as the tide turns and then take that all the way up to Dover. We were in two minds whether we might try and cross the channel overnight tonight, and I think we've decided that we won't. At one point it looked like it was going to be the only weather window to do it, but I think doing that in the daylight probably makes a degree of sense, particularly after, or particularly not doing it at midnight after a very long day's sail, and quite a bit of preparation seems to be the prudent move. So we're going okay. We had to motor for a fair bit, but the wind has filled in very much as we had hoped. That's, I think, flying reasonably nicely. I'm sure somebody will point out to me if it isn't. But we are making good progress. Should be there a little bit after dark. Well, we are almost due south of Beachy Head, and I think this is the farthest east that Corrick has been since she's been in our hands. It's absolutely gorgeous evening, but the wind isn't anything like as brisk as I'd hoped. I thought it would be, I don't know, 12, 15 knots, at least gusts of that, but it's 8 knots and dying, and as the tide comes in our favour, the apparent wind will drop, which makes us even slower, so we'll see how we get on, but I think we're going to have to motor at least some of the way, which is dull on such a gorgeous evening.
As I say, the weather was quite light, and despite the fact that it was a very dark night, we maybe imprudently carried the kite, but we'd had a good look at the weather, and it was slightly less than forecast, basically just south of west coming up behind. And this little patch here, we were sort of sitting in that as we went round Beachy Head and in. And we carried the kite till really quite late and then dropped it and then made our way into Dover, where there is a brand new harbour just about here, huge and with a lot of capacity, and extremely welcoming and pleasant. So we slept off till the following morning, went for a stroll and then waited for the tide.
Well, that's us leaving Dover. I'm just going to turn it down a little bit. It's very excellent at Dover BTS. We are heading almost due east, which is perfect for heading towards Dunkirk, which is where we're going. We've got the tide underneath us and sending us up to the north. We've got the wind coming down from the northeast. So the sea is a little bit choppier than you might expect. But we are making sorry, I need to look at the camera when I do this. We're making very good speed in the direction that we want to go. And I'm sort of glad that we're doing this in the daylight. Really glad that we stopped in Dover.
So am I.
Yeah, so next stop, ideally, Dunkirk.
I'll just show you a bit of footage of what it's like. Oh, here we go. And they did say on the forecast it was 2 to 4 variable.
In big handfuls, we would left Dover, head a little bit north of east, then altered to cross the traffic separation scheme at the right sort of angle, get across to the other side, and then turn to head back up the coast. I would say very much that you will meet a lot of big shipping, and there's a lot of traffic on VHF, so worth reading into it before you set off. It is worth reiterating there are a lot of ships, and some of them do get pretty close, which is, I guess, why we were pleased we did it in the daylight. But we then made our way up the coast and into Dunkirk and found a nice little marina right tucked in, really very pleasant indeed. As you can see from this, it is fairly industrial. But as we got into Dunkirk itself, it seemed like a really nice little place, and we were able to visit the museum there. Yeah, really fun.
Well, it doesn't get too much nicer than this. We're bowling along, a good 6 knots on the clock, maybe 6.5, 7 over the ground. Got the Belgian flag out. Very nubby, steady, slight northeasterly breeze. Just means we're having to beat very slightly towards Newport, but it is sunshine, blue skies, and everybody seems to be on the beach apart from us. But that's fine because we can see the beach, and we were on the beach earlier.
Yes, we went to the Dunkirk.
Lovely Dunkirk Museum, well worth a visit.
About the evacuation of Dunkirk.
Yep, and so up to Newport. Should be there well before sundowners, and a bit better than yesterday when we arrived in just in time to get to the bar just before it was shutting. But they were extremely pleasant in there, kept the bar open for us a little while longer. It was nice, very nice.
Next stop up the coast, we were going to meet up with some friends in Newport. Not a very long journey. Got there nicely in sunshine, everybody out enjoying themselves on the pier. And as we got in, there was a bit of a maritime festival, and lo and behold, there was a Contessa 32 there, and we were invited to go on board and have a look. Very much the original configuration and so forth. Really nice to see another boat, particularly lovely to be welcomed on board to have a look around at it. But there were a few other ships and boats in that, including this lovely old lifeboat that had been built in Cowes, and we managed to step on board and have a little bit of a look at that. All very pleasant indeed.
It's getting to the end of a reasonably long but very nice sail. We left, oh blimey, where did we leave? Newport. Today, just as about an hour before the tide went favourable for us. So we came out and we had a little bit of a sail, and then the wind died, and we had the engine on and motoring cone as displayed. But as we got past Ostend, I was thinking there would be a sea breeze, but there were no telltale puffs of clouds, so I didn't think it was going to happen. But it came in. Wind came in from just north of east, and so we've had a beat all the way up the coast. It's been well. Behind us is Bad, which is slightly curiously the home of the Belgian Yacht Club,
But
it's in Netherlands.
Yeah.
Which is strange. And we're sort of at the tail end of our passage up the North Sea. We'll shortly enter Flushing or Vissinga, and if I go all the way around, I don't know if you can quite see it, there we go, straight through there. On the horizon is all of the industry side up there. We've got really nice little harbour here, a bit like Lyme Reedish, but clean and
Seems very much a holiday town.
very but we're on the Cobb. And then if we go round that way, you can see Zeebrugge in the background. And if I flip the camera around, which I can't do while I'm actually filming, but I'll carry on round that way, then there is the North Sea and a million wind farms. So it's been really quite pleasant, much more pleasant than I'd anticipated. I'd thought about getting to Flushing as a delivery job, and actually I've enjoyed Dunkirk
Dover, Dunkirk.
Dover was nice.
Newport was lovely. Very, very upmarket. And there was no other Brit boats apart
No,
from
just us
Ripple
and,
of Kyle.
just us and Ripple, and we had an absolutely terrific sail yesterday. The two of us, and we left Newport within minutes, and we arrived here within seconds of each other. Guy did sail a bit better by going closer into the beach and the slightly flatter water.
Yeah.
Yeah, well done, Guy.
And less tacking.
Yeah, there was fewer tacks. We put a few more tacks in.
Well, I'm going
but-
off to eat my baguette. I'm going to look like one when I get back to the UK.